Good evening. My name is Jarvis. We are the Policy Hub, and we are here with,
Netia.
and we will talk about the federal, state, and local problems of Virginia. The next segment we have today will be our local segment, and we will talk about the Richmond affordable housing,
Mhm.
right? So I'm not from Richmond or I'm not from Virginia. I'm from
Right.
New Jersey. And my question is, what is actually like going on? Like what is the issue at stake or what is the issue at hand as to what's happening with this affordable housing?
I feel like they did approve I think it's like the 31 million, not the 31 million, $31 plan for housing for low income housing. They did approve that because eviction rates have been really high in Richmond, which they always have been. Eviction rates, rent prices have been climbing. People can't afford housing because housing is too high. Like Richmond is a lot of they're building a lot of new more stuff. So like pricing on houses have been going up and going up and going up. You can't get an apartment for like 700 no more. You have to pay 1,000 plus. And they're not like the best apartments. They're the bottom of the barrel apartments. I'm not even gonna lie to you. You still gotta pay 1,000 and up because they're building more stuff in Richmond. They're trying to get low income people out. Like, but the fact that they approved the little $31 affordable housing plan or 31 million affordable housing plan, I think is great because that's going to help more people stay out of homeless shelters. Homeless shelters have been outrun in Richmond. We only have a couple. We don't have that many. Homeless shelters have been outrun. There's too many people in homeless shelters. People with kids mainly. Um, Grown people that can't get housing because either bad credit, bad records. I feel like this plan should really help with low income housing. More people should be able to get housing if this plan falls through and just keeps getting stronger and more people trust in the plan that they have going on. The
Yeah.
them approving it is a good like way of showing them like they're actually trying to help people in low income and homeless people and stuff like that. And people that just don't have it like that. Some people just don't have it like that now. But the fact they approve it is really just ready to make it. Not going to say it makes Richmond a better place to live, but it does make it easier to live in Richmond with
Mhm.
lower income housing. Instead of trying to kick them out of lower income housing, they're actually trying to help them get them ways to pay for it. And people with kids shouldn't be in homeless shelters. I don't feel like people with children should be in a homeless shelter with their kids. People are losing their kids because of getting evicted. CPS cases are climbing because people don't have homes. But this plan should really help out in Richmond, I feel like, because more low income people can just have it now. They don't have to fight to live in Richmond. They could just be able to live in Richmond without
Yeah.
having to fight. That's how I feel about
I have a question on this.
it.
How many units do you think they'll actually produce? And like, how long do you think it'll take? Because what you said they have 31 million to do so?
I, yeah, I'm pretty sure about it. I'm pretty sure they said. Let me read it. It's a part of the little 50 million plan.
Hmm.
Let me make sure I'm saying this right. We're gonna cut this out too.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to make sure I say this right before I say something completely wrong and it get posted and they be like, "Oh, you're slow." You're not slow, guys. I promise. Yes, 31 million. They're trying to,
31
it's
million.
more so trying to get families with homes and it's trying to help people, it's trying to help young adults mainly. I'm not gonna lie. It's mainly for young adults for that are
So you're
coming
saying the
behind.
project focuses on young adults. I'm so sorry for interrupting you.
Yes, you're
You saying
fine.
the project focuses on young adults and like helping them stay out of foster homes and stuff like that?
Yes, it is like helping young adults more. That's the target they're trying to reach is for young adults, getting out of high school who don't want to go to college, who need to live, or people that just don't have parents that just can't stay in their parents' houses. This is more
Yeah.
focusing on young adults and trying to get them somewhere. As long as the young adults are on the street, more stuff is just going to keep happening in Richmond. If they could get them a home and actually keep them away from the stuff that's happening in Richmond in certain parts of Richmond, it'll be way less crime. I can tell you that.
Got it. I also seen that while I was researching it, they said that city officials say that it's one of the boldest housing investments that they've seen.
Mm-hmm.
And how far can they really go with 31 million? You know?
I mean, in certain areas, it can go very far. And like Carytown and stuff like that, it's not going to go far because that's more. More young adults don't stay in that area because those houses are expensive.
Mhm.
I feel like in certain places of Richmond, more so like the north and the south side of Richmond, it would go pretty far if they could like fix it up a little bit. Like I know they're trying to build homes, but like those areas are where more of the like danger goes on. But I
Yeah,
feel like they probably will put those apartments in those areas only because it can stretch the money if they put those apartments in those areas. In certain areas,
makes
the
sense.
money will stretch.
So you're saying that certain areas it wouldn't work, in some areas it would work
It would work
because of
in
what
all
they could do
areas.
with the money in
I
all
would.
areas.
It could work in all areas, but if they're trying to stretch this money in certain areas, it would work
Hmm.
more than
Mhm.
it would in higher class areas of Richmond. That's what I'm trying to say.
Got it, got it, got it.
Mm-hmm.
So, so what is it? How would the housing be in Richmond though?
Hmm.
Like is it would it be like just nice and affordable housing? Like would it just like to like get started, or is it actually gonna be like really nice? You know?
I think it probably just going to be nice and affordable, only because it's targeting younger adults. They it's not like it's probably gonna be nice and affordable only because it's not gonna be a huge like space for the young adults. It's just gonna give them enough to start off. I feel like it's gonna be
Mm,
enough for them to get started on life.
that's wonderful. We would
Like
like to start with the
the,
federal issue with the Trump admin's impact on African Americans.
I'll start off with that one. I feel like that was truly beneficial to just Trump. I feel like that did not really help black people at all. He just started an uproar, basically, starting up more black people. And then he let segregation, he fixed that segregation law and now everybody can do it at jobs and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
I feel like that's just an uproar about the race. He just basically started up Jim Crow laws again. That's the kickoff with the Jim Crow laws because that's just he provoking black people to just dislike him more and more and more. And I don't agree with him trying to handle all the little Black Lives Matter protests either. I feel like he's just trying to get an uproar out of black people in general with that.
yes. I feel like with what you were saying, I feel like it's kind of also setting us back in a way, and
Mm-hmm.
how
It
we're not
did.
moving forward. We're not moving forward in the modern world.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I feel like what he's doing is not really helping anything. Is just more pushing it back. You know. And a question I have is like, is eliminating DEI really about fairness, or is it about silencing uncomfortable truths?
Mm-hmm. I feel like it's more of him trying to push us farther away because he more so doesn't like people of color, which he has said multiple times that he just doesn't like us at all. We made
Mhm.
progress right before he actually decided to come up and make the segregation in jobs law legal again. We were trying to be equal. We was having the fight. All the protests, Black Lives Matter, everything that was going on. He basically just pushed us way back. Like he just restarted our whole journey of trying to get people to understand that Black lives actually do matter, and it's not just about a certain color or race or anything like that.
Yeah, I do see that. I do see that. I have another question. If the
Mm-hmm.
Department of Education is eliminated, what happens to Title I schools or HBCU funding? Who protects the vulnerable students? Like, for example,
Right.
my major is agriculture, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there was a scholarship that HBCUs got for if they have a 3.5 or a certain GPA, right?
Right.
And you can apply for that scholarship. But now, right now, I can't do so because of the funding that he's doing.
Mm-hmm. I feel like him taking all like our scholarships for HBCUs and stuff like that, it just he's pushing us back even more. Like he don't want us to learn nothing. He don't want us to grow as people. He don't want us to make our goals. I'm a criminal justice major. I'm trying to make it into a law firm. How I'm gonna do that when he did put all these rules and new laws out about people of color? And as you see, I'm a person of color. He just pushed it back and made it even harder for us to do it, which is already hard because some
Yeah,
people just don't have it like that, or we need the grants to go to school. Like we need all the federal loans, the grants, all that. He just pushed it back more because he know all of us don't have it like that. So that's how I feel about that one.
you can say that again. You can say that again. I also heard while researching this topic that I heard about something like the Smithsonian African American Museum
Mm-hmm.
in DC, I believe.
Yes.
I heard that it could be censored under new anti woke guidelines.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how could that? Like, what does that mean? And how do we tell our history for African Americans?
He don't want us to tell our history. That's what that is. He doesn't want us to tell our history. He doesn't want to know. I don't know why my camera keeps centering right now. But he doesn't want them to a reminder of what that happened to us when we didn't have anything, because he wants us to go back to that. He doesn't want people to know how hard it was for Black people to come up, get the rights they had, get everything we need to do. We already fight enough. He wants to make it harder for us, so we just give up in the long run. Like, he's making it harder, so most of us just give up, and that's exactly what's going to happen. What are we going to do if we don't have funding in schools? And what are we going to do? What are the rising children going to do when they don't know their own history? They can't.
Yeah,
Nobody's going to really try to teach their history unless it's needed in class. Not just because, oh, like, let me teach this. No, they're not going to want to do that. They're going to have to bring it up as they read about certain time periods. But nobody really wants to teach history about Black people. They don't want us to know, like, what they're doing, because he's retreating back to what Jim Crow and all of them did. He's retreating back to that. And that's just what that is. He don't want us to learn. He don't want us to grow.
because like I feel as if our history is very important to learn. I feel like even for the younger generation, the new upcoming generation, that we should push the agenda to learn about our history
Mm-hmm.
and learn about how suppressed and everything that like what happened to us African Americans. So
Right.
that is important to say that.
Nobody's going to know how hard it is to grow up an African American if he keeps trying to cut off our history. They're not going to know how hard our people fought for us. Like,
Yeah. And what would happen to the institutes that protect that like show us who we are and like show us the history of what we became and how we came so far?
they're not going to know the history about how we got treated, the hardships we had to go through, what we had to eat, just because they wouldn't even let us eat on the same table as them or purchase the same food as them. It goes deeper than what it is. Like, we couldn't even buy the food that they had because of
We had
what
to
they
get the
paid
scraps.
and how everything was. Literally, they used to use our hair for sofas. Like, they didn't like us, and Donald Trump doesn't like us, so he's reverting back to those ways because he doesn't like us. And as long as we have somebody that doesn't like us in the office, nobody's going to take Black people serious at all.
Factual. Factual. All right. So with our last segment, we would like to talk about the Virginia gubernatorial race, right? So what I found out from doing research is that we have a black woman running for office. And it could be very historical if she were to win because she will be the first black woman elected governor in the whole US, right? And it's also would be important for Virginia as well because who knows what her views and her opinions are, you know? But what I did also see is that she has Abigail Spamberger is currently in the lead, but with over 30% undecided, this race is wide open. So
Mm-hmm.
what could we
I
talk about
feel,
with that?
I feel like it would be great to have a Black woman in the office to actually point out some issues concerning the Black community. Because if a Black woman's in the office, she's actually going to like point out issues with the people that actually need more of the help. I feel like most people don't point out the issues within the Black community, all the crime, everything going on. She would actually come into the office and try to help majority of the people that actually need the help,
Yeah,
not just basically like brush us off or put us in the past. No, she's actually going to put us in the light and show that we need help, regardless if they like it or not. She, I know that some people don't want a Black woman in charge of anything or whatever. People have their own opinions, and that's fine. I feel like with a Black woman in charge, more issues would get fixed in the office if she was there to make a stand for it, to show what the issues are. Like, if she shows the issues and brings it to their attention, they'll actually start caring about it because somebody in the office is talking about it and not just fixing other issues or the bigger issues, or because we're all a part of the bigger picture. If they don't fix what we have going on now, then it's never going to get fixed.
issues will come to light. You
Yeah.
believe with her? You believe that she could help Virginia as a whole, or do you think that she will fix one issue and then keep it as one? You know?
I feel like even if she only fixed one issue, I don't feel like she would just fix one issue, but even if she just fixed one issue, that's still one less issue that we all have to worry about. But I feel like she would come and actually fix Virginia as a whole and not just watch issue after issue after issue come. Like everybody can see the issues. They know we need the help that. I feel like you can't ignore it if it's your people. Like she's not gonna be able to ignore it because it's people that she cares about. These people could be her excuse me. These people could be her family, people she cares about, her friends. Like she's not gonna ignore it because these are people that probably know what she's been through to get up this far, have seen the work, have seen the pain and all that she put in trying to get this far. I feel like she would
Mhm.
ignore us because we're the people that's voting for her the most. In my
Yeah.
opinion.
I
How
seen that
do you feel
recent polls.
about it?
How do I feel about it?
Mm-hmm.
I feel kind of mixed about it, but she's a Republican as well. But since I'm not from Virginia and I'm not doing much research, I could also say that it just takes a little bit more research to understand where she's coming from. But as me being African American, I would love for a woman, a black woman, to be a leading governor in Virginia. You
Mm-hmm.
know,
All right.
but I would also see that recent polls indicate a competitive race. A February survey showed that Spanberger was leading Earl Shares with 39% to 24%. Though a significant
Mm-hmm.
32% of voters remain undecided, political analysts suggest that the outcome may serve as a referendum on
Right.
President Donald Trump's second term, noting that Virginia has often elected governors from the party opposite the sitting president
Mm-hmm.
since 1977. So, yeah.
I feel like even though she is a Republican, and I might not agree with her political stands, she wouldn't let the people, well, not our people, but people of color fall and not be able to get up. I feel like she would at least help us work on at least one issue at a time. Or at least she should be helping us work on one issue at a time. I know it might be not be a lot of issues going on, but there's enough issues that to need fixing in Virginia.
There is a lot of issues to be fixing in Virginia, even though I'm not from here. I say the same, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Also doing some more research on Winston Earl Shares. I
Mm-hmm.
heard that she is a Marine veteran and a Jamaican immigrant. She is
Mm-hmm.
recognized for her conservative policies, and she has advocated for issues like restricting transgender athletes in women's sports. So,
I don't agree with that. In my opinion, I don't agree with that. Um, I say let people be who they want to be. They were
of
born in
course,
the wrong body. You don't know the feeling that they felt growing up trying to grow up in the wrong body. So you can't judge them for what they're doing to their body. At the end of the day, it's their body. If they want to switch, you change it up. But let them do it. It's their body. Nobody can stop them. And all the surgeries are there if they want it to happen. If they would like to run in a sport and they are technically female now or technically male, let them run with the female or the male team. I feel
of
like it's
course.
unfair in some circumstances that transgender females have to deal with, like the fact that people don't think that they're already women. There are women,
Mhm.
regardless if y'all like it or not. They're going to be women at the end of the day, regardless if people like it or not. They're going to be women. They're going to be men. Whatever they want to change themselves to, that's what they're going to do. Whoever they feel like they are in here shouldn't matter to nobody else what they are on the outside. I don't agree with her trying to only let born females run certain sports or born males run with certain teams. Let them do what they want. If they
That's what I'm
go by
saying.
female and their driver's license say female, their birth certificate female, all they change their name, all that stuff. Let them do what they want. It's their life. It's nobody else's life to try to change them. And just because they're trans. How do I say that? They're switching genders. I was ready to say that wrong. Doesn't mean they don't deserve the same respect as everybody else. Changing doesn't stop anybody.
doesn't. Now that that you heard that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Abigail Spanberger, right?
Mm-hmm.
She is what's it called? She is known for center's positions and emphasis on. Oh, as I messed that completely up. Wow, that was crazy. I'm gonna cut that out,
Okay.
right? She has focused on issues such as healthcare accessibility, education reform, and gun control. Spanberger has raised approximately 6.5 million for a campaign, reflecting substantial support. So I would also like to say that with this race, that it's two sides of the same story. Not two sides of the same story, but it's like we would love for a black woman
Mm-hmm.
to be governor, but the views and their opinions may not
Are
align
not
with
aligned.
ours.
They're not the
You
same
know?
as ours, but I feel like these are two different approaches going for the same goal.
Yes.
And both approaches matter because nobody's going to want to vote for them if they make the wrong approach. I feel like their beliefs aren't the same as mine. I don't believe in what they believe in. I feel like everybody, why does it keep saying that? I feel like everybody should just be able to do what they would like to do and let people live their life. But it would be nice to have a black person in office. I'm not saying my opinion is better. Everybody has their own opinion. They believe in what they want to believe in. I just don't agree with her.
Mhm.
Um, that's just I know a lot of trans people and people that just want to change themselves because they want to. Hey, they're my friends. I don't judge anybody. I feel like let them do what they want to do regardless. But she don't have the same approach that I would have took. I feel like her approach to this could have been way better. Her beliefs, those are just opinions. I feel like those are her own personal opinions that she's trying to make into laws and stuff. No, she need to go by what off everybody goes off, not just from. She need to go by off facts, not even what everybody goes off. She needs to go by facts. She don't need to go by her own opinion because that's what's kind of like making her approach wrong. I'm not saying her opinion is wrong. I'm just saying going by opinions is wrong. She should go
Mhm.
by facts instead of opinions. How do you
Yeah,
feel
that's
about
true.
it?
I believe that she should also go by facts and not opinions. And I do believe that with Earl and Spanberger, I believe that they're both making history because they are both making history if they both
Mm-hmm.
run. Because one will be the first woman to be governor and will be the first black woman. So my thought is like you just have to see which one wins.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I really have to say.
That's. I feel like your opinion is valid as well. I mean, it would be nice to have a black woman in office, but even if she doesn't win, which I don't believe she should because I don't believe in her beliefs, um, hey, it's a black woman in office, and that's a step closer to what Donald Trump is trying to push us back
Push.
for. So
That's what I'm saying.
I give her that. I do. She made it there.
You have to give it up for trying.
Yes, I do give her that for trying.
That's great. That's great.
We need to make our outro before this ends. That will end today's
So
discussion for the VSU Policy Hub. Okay. I'm saying bye from Netia.
I'm saying see you guys later. See you next time from Jarvis.
We'll see y'all again. Okay, you got to get to segment 3. How
All
long
right,
is
all
it?
right. How long is it? Oh, I don't even see how long is man. Oh, muffle.
All right. So let me pull up the topics we're going to be talking about today. Our discussion today. Okay. Our discussion today will be about statewide. The statewide discussion today will be about Virginia. We're going to start that over. We're going to clip that out because I don't know
Of course.
how do you pronounce that word?
The gubernatorial, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you
Gubernatorial.
say
I
that.
I believe that's it.
I'll say the other stuff. I don't know how to pronounce that word, and I'm ready to butcher it.
Okay. So you want me to do the intro? You want me to do the introduction?
Yeah, you started.
All right, give me a minute. Virginia, whoa. Good evening. My name is Jarvis, and we are here with,
Good evening. My name is Netia.
and we are the Policy Hub, and we would like to talk about the policies and how we shape our community. And today we would first start with the